50 Cent has faced plenty of threats in his life, but this one might just be the most shocking yet. Big Meech's nephew was caught in a leaked audio clip threatening to get 50 arrested, claiming he has sensitive information on him. And here's where things get even crazier. He says he got this information from none other than Lil Meech. The nephew makes it clear that he's not above snitching, openly admitting he has no shame in using whatever he knows to take 50 down. But there's a twist. While he's talking tough in the leaked clip, it's obvious he's scared. He hasn't confronted 50 directly, and the way he talks about the situation suggests he knows exactly what kind of consequences could come from crossing someone like 50 Cent. Now, the biggest question in hip-hop is, how will 50 Cent respond to this bombshell leak? Will he go on the offensive, expose the nephew for bluffing, or does he already know what's coming? Let's break down the full situation and what it means for the future of this ongoing war. To understand the gravity of this leaked audio, we need to go back to where this all started. 50 Cent and Big Meech's history runs deep. Once a bond built on respect, money, and influence, things eventually soured as Meech's legal troubles mounted and 50 made his own moves in Hollywood and business. With the rise of BMF, the Star series produced by 50 based on Meech's life, tensions were already simmering. While Lil Meech, Big Meech's son, had embraced the role of playing his father on screen and worked closely with 50, it was clear that not everyone in the BMF camp was on board with how things were unfolding. Enter Big Meech's nephew. While not as publicly known as Lil Meech, he's been lurking in the background, keeping his ear to the streets and, apparently, gathering information. But the real bombshell here isn't just that he claims to have dirt on 50 Cent. It's where he got it from. If the leaked audio is to be believed, the information comes straight from Lil Meech himself. Now, this raises some serious questions. Did Lil Meech really betray 50 by spilling secrets? Was he venting to family members without realizing it would come back to bite him? Or is this nephew exaggerating what he knows, using Lil Meech's name to make his threat seem more credible? The nephew doesn't just claim to have information. He straight up says he would use it to get 50 Cent arrested. That alone is enough to set off alarms in the industry. Snitching has always been one of the biggest taboos in hip-hop. And here we have a family member of one of the most notorious street figures openly admitting that he has no issue with cooperating. What's even wilder is that he doesn't sound like someone making a power move. He sounds like someone who's scared. You can hear the nervous energy in his voice, the way he dances around the idea of actually confronting 50 directly. He knows that saying these things out loud puts him in a dangerous position, yet he's still willing to put out there. But let's be real. If you're going to threaten someone like 50 Cent, you better be ready for war. 50 has built his entire brand on surviving and winning battles, whether it's in the streets, in business, or in entertainment. He's taken down entire careers, exposed his enemies, and come out on top every single time. So what happens now that this nephew has openly declared that he has something that could bring 50 down? First, let's talk about 50's potential responses. He has several options, and knowing 50, he's already strategizing his next move. 1. He laughs it off publicly. 50 Cent is a master at flipping narratives. He could easily take this leaked audio, post it on Instagram with a joke, and turn the whole thing into comedy. That would instantly make the nephew look weak and unserious, dismissing the threat before it even gains traction. 2. He calls out Lil Meech. If 50 believes there's any truth to the claim that Lil Meech is the source of this information, things could get messy real fast. 50 has publicly supported Lil Meech for years, treating him like a protege. But if he feels betrayed, he could cut ties immediately and expose whatever dirt he has on Lil Meech instead. 3. He digs up dirt on the nephew. 50 doesn't just fight back, he destroys. If this nephew has any skeletons in his closet, 50 will find them, whether it's old criminal records, embarrassing stories, or something worse. 50 has the resources to make sure this guy regrets ever speaking his name. 4. He plays the long game. 50 Cent doesn't always respond immediately. Sometimes, he lets his enemies think they've won before hitting them when they least expect it. If the nephew really does have information, 50 might be moving behind the scenes, handling the situation quietly before the public even realizes what's happening. Now, let's look at another major question. Is there actually any real information that could get 50 Cent arrested? For years, rumors have circulated about 50 Cent's past and his connections. But let's not forget, this is a man who has survived assassination attempts, street wars, and corporate battles without ever taking a major L. If there was something truly damning out there, wouldn't it have surfaced already? The idea that Big Meech's nephew suddenly has a smoking gun feels suspicious, especially considering the nervous energy in his voice. It sounds more like desperation than real power. And that brings us to the final point. Why is this nephew even doing this? If he's really connected to BMF, why would he openly admit to snitching? Could this be an attempt to make himself relevant? Is he looking for clout, hoping this will get him some attention in the industry? Or is there a deeper agenda here, one we haven't fully uncovered yet? One thing's for sure, this leaked audio has set something big in motion. Whether 50 Cent responds with jokes, with war, or with silence, the fact remains that someone just put a serious claim on his name. And in the world of 50 Cent, that never goes unanswered. The real question now is, when 50 makes his move, will the nephew be ready for what's coming?